Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Everything that I use in this video will be listed down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video. Let's get straight into it. This part of the video is sped up so that it won't be so long, but I like to start off with doing my brows before doing anything else to my face, and I just simply outline the bottom portion of my brows, fill in whatever needs to be filled in, and then outline the top portion. Once the top portion is outlined, then I go back in and fill in a little bit more. To clean up under my brows, I like to just take a concealer that's not too far off from my skin tone color, and I like to lightly just outline the bottom portion of my brow and then bring that product down to my lid, because this will also help conceal my lid. And now, before going in with another concealer, I like to blend out the edges of that concealer just so everything is nice and smooth before going in with another concealer that's lighter than this one. I'm also going to take that same concealer to conceal the top portion of my brows as well. And I went over the line just a little bit, so I'm just cleaning that up before going in and blending out that concealer as well. I like to just blend out the edges to make sure that they're nice and even. Now I'm going in with a lighter concealer, so this will be my base basically before I go in with any type of eyeshadow. Once that is blended out, I like to go in with some translucent powder so I don't receive any creasing before going in with my eyeshadow. And for my transition color, I'm going in with like this orangish rust color, and I'm going to apply that directly underneath my brows, going in with circular motions as well as some windshield wiping motions. I'm going to build this color up so that it really shows through. And with this shade, I don't have to go all the way down the lid because I will be going in with some other colors. Also, for the outer corner, I am going to be doing circular motions because I don't want this to be nice and crisp as I usually would do it. So I'm just going to round that out. For the next shade, I'm going in with this black, and I'm just adding this to the outer corner, leaving a little bit of that orange to show through. And I'm going to build this up a little bit before blending it out. And when I blend it out, I'm basically just fading it upward, making sure that I don't go all the way up to cover up the other color. And I'm just going back in with that transition color just to make sure that none of it didn't disappear when adding in the black. You can also add in the black first and then go in with your transition color. And now I'm going to take this red shade and I'm going to apply this only in the inner corner, and I'm going to fade it up into that transition shade as well as that black, but I'm keeping it right there. I don't want this to be all over the lid. I just want it to basically be in that inner corner. And I'm just using whatever is left over on the brush to blend forward from that black. And then I'm going to go back in with that other brush just to make sure that everything is blended out even further. And I want that red to stand out a little more, so I'm just going to go back in and build it up just a little. And now I'm just going to cut my crease. I'm not going to use the guide method for this look because it will take away most of that red, and I want it to leave a little peekaboo. And I'm just following that red along the lines, making sure that I keep everything nice and rounded. You want to take your time when doing your cut crease so you don't mess up anything and have to repeat the whole thing over. And just so I don't have any harsh lines, I'm just going back in with whatever is left over from that black and building that up. Now I'm going back in with that transition shade in between that black and that concealer. And I didn't really like the way it looked too much, so I'm going to cover that up. I'm going to go back in with that black shade on the outer corner just to build that up a little bit more. And I'm also going to make sure that I kind of cover up some of that little rust that I applied there as well. And I'm going to go back in with that rust shade for that outer corner as well so that it does not get lost in the transition between the black. Without applying any more concealer, I'm just making sure that I pat that dry, as well as making sure that I remove any creasing that I may have gotten. Mixing these two shades together, I'm going to apply that directly over that black as well as in the middle of that concealer, making sure that I tap that into place before fading it into that black, because you want everything to be nice and smooth when it transitions. And for that inner corner, I'm going to apply this white shade, and I'm just going to tap that into place. I'm also going to go over that other shade just a little bit because I love the way that this sparkles. Now that the eyes are more than halfway done, I'm going to go in with my primer. And I'm applying my primer right now because I already applied my moisturizer off camera. So I just wanted to make sure that my face is nice and primed and moisturized before going in with any more face products. With this foundation, I'm taking a little at a time because it is a medium to full coverage foundation, and a little goes a long way. But if you have to build it up, you can also build it up if needed. And I avoided my nose so that I didn't have that much product on my nose because that's the part that gets the oiliest faster. Now I'm going in with some concealer, and I'm using the same concealer that I use to conceal underneath my brows to highlight underneath my eyes, because for certain looks I don't like my under eyes to be super bright. This concealer plus the powder will brighten up under my eyes the way I want it. With the lighter concealer I'm going to take for the center of my forehead as well as the center of my nose, I also decided to add it in the middle portion under my eyes as well as under where my contour will go. And I'm just going to blend out my forehead first, making sure that I really focus on the edges because, again, you don't want any harsh lines when you go to apply anything else. That's why I like to blend out the edges first and then go back in with whatever is left over on my foundation brush to blend it out even more. I'm going to blend out that concealer on my cheeks first, making sure that I really take my time because I don't want to mess up the line that I created. And then to blend that out and fade that in more, I'm going to go in with my foundation brush. And as you can see, it already kind of looked like I have on some bronzer, but I don't. And while I let that concealer sit under my eyes a little longer, I am going to contour my nose as well as the rest of my face. And when blending out the concealer, again, I like to make sure the outer edges is blended out first, and then I'm gonna go in and blend out and fade everything else back together. And as you can see, it still gave me that brightness even though I did not apply the lighter color in the inner corner. And I wanted it to be a little lighter, so I'm gonna go in with that lighter concealer just in the inner corner, and I'm gonna let that sit for a little while before blending it out so it can dry down a little bit. Now that I let it sit for a little while, I'm going to blend that out very lightly because I don't want to lift any of the other product that I may have laid down. And I'm going to make sure that everything is blended together before going in with this setting powder. And I'm just going to lightly press the setting powder into place before going in and baking just a little bit. Everywhere that I apply that concealer, I'm going to use this same powder to set that into place. And then for the bronzer, I'm going to go in with my pressed powder to set that. And now I'm going to set that bronzer using my pressed powder. And I'm just pressing this in, making sure that I also blend it out. And whatever is remaining on that brush is what I'm going to use to blend out the rest of this powder. To help give me that nice smooth under eye, I'm going to go in with this pressed powder again. And this will help smooth everything out and make that look not be so bright and bold underneath the eye. To clean up that bronzer on my nose a little bit, I'm just going to take a little bit more of that powder and also apply it to the inner corner of my eyes as well as on top of my nose, just to clean it up a little bit. And I'm gonna do the rest of my face off camera. I hope y'all enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss whenever I post another video. And I will see you in the next one.